Hello group. I hope everybody's having a great day. Let's see, what day is it? Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Okay, quick, simple little thing. Some of you, if you've taken the focus system certification, you are looking at the eyes. Very simply, you're not taking a bunch of extra time to do this. It's not taking you away from chiropractic. It's using the tools, clinical, observational exam tools to make the case for what you do and actually better understand what you do and the impact you have on the brain by correcting subluxation. So it's not about taking you away from chiropractic. It's about knowing a little bit more and having systems and exams that are congruent so you can communicate and you can understand. Okay, so if you've taken the system, you're looking at the eyes. If you haven't, you are going to start looking at the eyes. And here's a simple little thing. It's not just about, look, I don't expect you to be an optometrist. We're not talking about functional neurology here. Although there's some concepts from both of those influences. But as part of your exam, if you're looking at you have your clinical exam for chiropractic, that's the first question that we teach you in the exam. And the second question you're asking is, how is this impacting the brain? How is this individual, processing their world? What tools are they using? And that's where we fit in, looking at primitive reflexes, gross motor, fine motor, auditory, verbal, like a metronome. Can we stay on task? How are we using verbal language and expressive and receptive language, eye movements, and so the visual motor system and visual perceptual errors or visual cognition. So what we want to look at is, we're not just looking at the eyes. Like, yes, look at the eyes, do your basic tracking, even if that's all you're doing to start with. Look at fixation. Go, even 3 to 4 inches away from the face, away from the nose, and have them look at a target. With kids, you can put like some of those little like pencil toppers that are fun. Or you can do a pen, a pencil, something like that. But you want a smaller target, and you want to look at, can they converge their eyes? Can they fixate their eyes? And not just that, this is where typically we kind of get stuck. We're just going to talk about this. We're not even going to talk about divergence, convergence, and all these things today. Today, we're just going to talk about fixation. So you're looking at fixation. You're saying, can they fixate on this target? First of all, are they seeing one target or are they seeing 2 targets, right? And if you have a nonverbal individual, you can actually you'll get better at this as you go, start to see just by looking at the alignment of their eyes. Or you have somebody with big visual perceptual errors because of immature development, because their development has been impacted some way, potentially by subluxation, or altered proprioceptive input, mismatching visual motor input. And so they may not even be aware if they're seeing double. So you need to look at the eyes and, see, does it look like they're aligned to where they would be seeing 1 target and 2 in their magnocellular, 2 out here, right? So 2 U's, 1 target. They're looking at this. Now, it's not just about looking at the eyes. What I want you guys to start practicing is, I want you to look at what are they doing with their head when they're doing this. This is where the gold comes in with applying this in your practice. So 1, can we fixate? What's happening when we fixate on this target? Okay, they can fixate on the target. Are they getting like really peaked cheeks, meaning we're having stress, autonomic arousal? Are they starting to giggle? Are they getting teary-eyed? These are really common things that happen when we have this, I can do this task, but it's actually stressful and it's increasing my sympathetic activation, which is causing either this like involuntary, uncontrolled laugh, it's causing tears and emotions, it's causing cheeks to get pink. But one of the biggest things, I just want you to observe that. And then the other thing, one of the biggest things I want you all to watch is, do we see a postural change, even if it's slight? If we have visual motor errors here, we're getting unpredictable and unstable information in through our visual motor system, leading to visual perceptual errors. We are going to see oftentimes a compensatory change to try to get away from using both eyes together, and you may see a head tilt, you may see an eye squint, you may see a big rotation to get one eye completely out, you may see a eye that completely becomes misaligned as the fatigue sets on. That's what I want you to watch. And all I want you to do right now, those of you who are interested more in this work and have taken the certification, you know a little bit more about this. Doesn't mean it takes a bunch of time again, but it means you know more, you know how to communicate it, you understand how this would relate to like reading and behavior and socialization, and you can communicate that, and then you can watch that change as you do your chiropractic, right? You use this as an exam and as a re-exam. But those of you who haven't done any of that yet, or even those of you who have, the biggest thing I want you to do is I want you to just observe this. When I do a fixation task, after about 10 seconds, I see a rotation. I see one eye go off to the side. I see an autonomic change. I see the pink cheeks, sympathetic activation, uncontrollable laughter, crying. I see one eye start to have ptosis, and we start to occlude visual input to try to go to monocular vision. This is a big window into the brain. You need to write it down, and then just write it down. If that's all you're doing right now, I want you to incorporate this into your exam, and then we can incorporate it into our re-exam, because we know that it's a window into how we're using our visual motor system. As we do our chiropractic work, we want to look at objective measures, we want to look at posture, we want to look at range of motion, we want to look at symptoms, we want to look at thermography, we want to look at pupil dilation. We need to have a structural and neurological indicator on our exam for chiropractic and subluxation and changes there. And we need to have some objective measures and observable measures of changing the brain and the neurology, and this is one of them. So if that's all, if you're like, I don't even know where to start here, and just start looking at, can I fixate? What happens when they fixate? Write it down, do it again. The eyes are a big window into the brain, and particularly when we're talking about behavioral learning, socialization challenges, traumatic brain injuries, we have to be able to know more about this system and what it tells us about the whole brain, and therefore the function of the individual in their environment. Okay, so today everybody start looking at that, just a basic fixation, and you can also look at it here, and then you can also watch it when you have them maybe draw something with younger kids, color, do a writing task, and you can see when they go from here to here, do we have a head turn? Do they have to get really close, and do they try to block out two eyes? So you want to observe, notate, put it on your re-exam, add it in. We don't always have to do a lot more. It doesn't have to take a bunch of time, but we do need to know more. If you're out there saying chiropractic changes the nervous system, chiropractic changes the brain, we better know what that means and know how to communicate that, how to observe that, have exams and re-exams that are congruent, procedures that are congruent, so that we can really help these families. Okay, those of you who are like wanting more of this, make sure you jump in. We have, I think, 5 or 6 more spots at the promo price. We're going to close that down this week, and we're going to go to our normal price. That's $1,500 off our certification series. This is the last certification series we're going to do like this. The live event is February 4th and 5th in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and you get instant access to your online learning modules, so you can start doing this stuff, find the simplicity on the far side of complexity, and really help the people in your community. So if you want that, jump in. Like I said, I think we have 5 or 6 more spots that we're offering at the promo price and or closing it this week. All right, be well, do good work.